Back before I seen this anime, I seen these two characters and I thought they were going to be just like Bonnie and Elaine. But to my surprise, this was kind of different. Only kind of. You see, I'm getting too far ahead of myself. Let me explain who this character is anyway. You see, this is Hajime. He didn't always look like this. Hajime started out like this until an incident happened. You see, Hajime, along with the rest of his class, was forcefully summoned to a different world. In this world, Hajime and his classmate were tasked with saving humankind from demons. This was because demons almost erased most of humankind already at this point. They all received their own job class and skills, with Hajime's being a synergist with the ability to transmute. If you don't know what that means, it's basically like a blacksmith. Hajime has the ability to craft items along with weapons. By the way, this has been something shown in multiple animes. I always think they're cool. But some of Hajime's classmates seem to think otherwise. Because of the class that was assigned to Hajime, and most of his classmates seem to look down on him. So this next part shouldn't be too surprising. You see, Hajime and his class are supposed to go on a training exercise to the labyrinth to help them gain some type of experience. Because they were accompanied by the Kingdom Knights, there shouldn't have been a problem. There was a problem. You see, one of the classmates touches a crystal, and because of that, everyone's ended up getting teleported further into the labyrinth than they should have been. This led to them being confronted by a powerful horde of monsters. Finding these monsters would basically be a death sentence, so the whole group decides to run at first. They can't outrun all of them, so they try to fight back. The horde of monsters are manageable since they're just skeletons, but the real problem is the behemoth. This is where Hajime come in. Hajime uses his transmute ability to stop the behemoth's momentum by creating walls. While Hajime is slowing it down, the rest of the group launches attacks at the behemoth. Well, all except one. You see, while the group was attacking the behemoth, someone decided they may as well get Hajime too. Fun fact, while the anime keeps it vague of who did it, and the manga, even though they don't exactly show the person who did it either, going by the silhouette they showed, you pretty much know who did it. Anyway, after this, Hajime ends up alone in the labyrinth. Now, while alone, he gets attacked by a bunny, and obviously from the look of it, it isn't a normal bunny. Speaking of which, the design tends to differ drastically between the anime and the manga. The bunny tries to kill Hajime, but before it can, a bear shows up and eats it. Sadly, the bear is still hungry, so it attacks Hajime, ripping off his arm and eating it. Now, this isn't the end of Hajime. Using his transmute ability, he's able to not only get away, but happen to find a room dripping strange liquid from the ceiling. This liquid is actually a healing elixir. But even though it heals, it doesn't regrow limbs, stop hunger pains, or even numb pain in general. It's just an extremely potent healing potion. Knowing this, Hajime had to eat something or he would eventually die of hunger. So he resolved himself to hunt and eat the monsters inside the labyrinth, all for the sake of finding a way to get back home, and anyone or anything that gets in his way is now an enemy. So Hajime transmuted traps and weapons in order to kill and eat the monsters. Now, under normal circumstances, eating monster meat wouldn't be the best idea because it actually can lead to your death. Because eating monster meat will tear away at the human body. Luckily, because of the elixir in a cave, Hajime didn't die to the monster meat, but his body did undergo a transformation because of the monster meat he had eaten. Not only changing his appearance, but giving him skills of the monster that he eaten, drastically raising his level. After that, he used his transmute skill to make a 6-chamber revolver that combined other skills to make it as strong as a railgun. Now, Hajime acquired the speed to move faster than sound, gain multiple levels, and a powerful weapon. But before Hajime could attempt to lead his labyrinth, there was one thing he must do: kill the bear. Hajime felt as if he didn't get revenge on the bear for taking his arm, he could never move forward. Now, the battle ended up being closer than Hajime would like because even though the bear was big, he was unexpectedly fast. Still though, Hajime was able to kill the bear and eat him. Now, after this, Hajime would continue to go further into the labyrinth, gaining levels and new skills, then eventually find the imprisoned Yue. This is where Hajime frees Yue because just like Hajime, Yue was betrayed and sealed, knowing that Hajime felt bad for her and couldn't leave her, thus being a start to their relationship. Now, the reason I told you all that in the first place is to show you the main reason behind Hajime and Yue being together in the first place, because they was kindred spirits, both being betrayed by people they thought to trust. Now that I gave you some insight on this, I want to talk about the story in general. Over the course of the story, Yue and Hajime's relationship didn't really stay the same. Not exactly. Obviously, they were still extremely in love with each other, but a relationship that was supposed to only have 2 people ended up adding more people, Like in season 3, they ended up adding Shia, giving him 2 girlfriends by the end of season 3. Now, obviously, this isn't nothing groundbreaking, but I feel like it just defeats the whole point of the relationship in general. Speaking of Shia, another thing is the fan service. Now, fan service is no stranger to anime or manga in general, but as the story goes on, it seems like they just double it the amount of time every time. Well, at least in an anime is like that. That actually brings me to my last thing I want to talk about. The difference between the manga and the anime are wildly different, mainly because this story actually comes from a light novel. To my knowledge, the manga is extremely faithful, while the anime tends to cut parts out. Now, I've seen the whole anime, but not the manga. I'm currently reading it. And as far as I read, while they still have fan service, they tend to be somewhat more modest in some scenes when compared to the anime. So who knows, until I'm caught up in the manga, maybe the anime did start doing a better one-to-one job of the light novel. But if you're asking my opinion, I would recommend the manga over the anime since it represents Hajime much better. Like during the time he first came across the Rabbit Man. There was a group of Imperial soldiers who came to harass the Rabbit Man, and Hajime decided to intervene. Hajime, after going through hell in the labyrinth, still decided to give him a chance to leave, but they decided to attack Hajime anyway, so Hajime had to kill him. Even though Hajime seems cold about it, he reaffirms that he isn't a murderer. It just that happens if the situation happened to be flipped, the enemy wouldn't hesitate. Even though Hajime comes off as cold, he's still very much intact with his humanity. He just knows that certain situations can have dire consequences, or at least that's how I took it. Now, this is just one of the stories I happen to remember, and I just want to talk about it. So if you stay here this long, please like the video and subscribe. But besides that, that's basically it.